So imagine a world where Wall Street traditional assets seamlessly integrate with cutting-edge blockchain technology. Robinhood's recent proposal to SEC basically aims to make this a reality by establishing a federal framework for tokenized real-world assets, aka RWA. And this, my friends, in my opinion, could be a huge game changer for projects like Algorand. So with that said, hi everyone, welcome back. I hope you're having a great time with your family and loved ones. And recently I came across this article which was very fascinating to me. According to this report from Forbes, a couple of days ago, Robinhood submitted a comprehensive 42-page proposal to the SEC advocating for a regulatory framework that would allow for the tokenization of traditional assets. This initiative basically aims to modernize US securities markets by bringing real-world assets on-chain. And why should they do that? Because it enhances transparency and it improves accessibility for investors massively. Now, according to this article, RWA tokenizations is projected to become a $30 trillion market by 2030, according to the research from TradingView. Now, let me ask you this. Which project in the crypto space is the pioneer when it comes to RWA? If you are a new viewer and you haven't watched the previous videos, you probably don't know what is going on in here. I should tell you, Algorand is the leading project when it comes to RWA. And I'm not saying that ALGO is going to take over most of this $30 trillion market. No, I'm trying to tell you, even if like just a very small fraction of that $30 trillion is going to go towards building dApps on Algo, the results are going to be absolutely huge. And I truly believe Algorand stands out as a prime candidate to support this new wave of asset tokenization. And you might ask why? Well, there are a couple of very good reasons. Number one, incredibly high speed. Number two, very low cost. Number three, secure blockchain infrastructure. Algorand at the moment is basically as decentralized as it gets, which means it is extremely secure. Now at this point you might say, well, okay, all that is great, but we don't at the moment have any successful RWA project on Algorand. Well, I think you would be wrong to say that. I would like to suggest to pay attention to this great project, Lofty AI. And in case you don't know what are these guys doing, they are, in my opinion, a shining example of how tokenized real estate can thrive on Algorand's platform by allowing investors to basically purchase fractional ownership in rental properties. Lofty AI democratizes real estate in investments. Investors in here can receive daily rental income. And I came across recently this tweet from Algorand Foundation. Where is it? Excuse me, I have a lot of tabs open. It's actually right in here. Okay, they said, big congratulations to Lofty AI on surpassing $4 million in rent distributed to investors. Built on Algorand, Lofty is making real estate investing more accessible. They also recently, pay attention, became a profitable business. That, in my opinion, is the most important point about this tweet. Why? Because these projects are basically pioneers in these spaces. And when they became profitable, that sets a precedent for other companies and projects. And I promise you, from this point moving forward, tokenizing real estate is going to become much bigger than already is on Algorand, because a lot of companies are now looking at Lofty AI and saying that, well, okay, the business model seems to be profitable and there is money to be made in that area. So why not get in it as soon as possible so we are able to make the most money before the market gets saturated? So the points that I'm trying to make in this video about Algorand is this: they are pioneers when it comes to RWA, and I think the future for Algo is extremely bright. And sure, they're not really great at advertising their projects, but having said that, I still believe they are the best in this space. And as we go forward, it seems like that the RWA narrative, it's just getting bigger and bigger. And I think Algorand is going to benefit from this big time. And if you're wondering why am I talking to you about this, that's because I care about the fundamentals of the projects that I'm investing. If you do not care about fundamentals and you only care about the price going up or down, may I suggest just go buy Fartcoin. If you are that good of a trader and if you are able to make money on everything, okay, more power to you. I'm not that good and my beliefs are probably way different than you. I like the projects with fantastic fundamentals and I think Algorand is definitely one of them, and I'm really having a hard time believing that in this cycle, if we are going to have an altcoin season, Algorand isn't going to participate in that. No, I definitely do not believe that. I think Algorand is going to be one of the big winners in this cycle. As time goes by, in my opinion, they are just going to attract more and more adoption. So overall, I think the future for Algorand is extremely bright. Now, for those of you who care about technical analysis and specifically my field of work, Elliott waves, well, in the short term, we are seeing some optimistic signs, but in today's update, I do not want to talk about what is happening in this area. I want to talk about the overall scenario in Algorand and see what is going on. Maybe, yes, the chart is actually on logarithmic already. Excuse me. There we go. So in the mid to long term in Algorand, in my opinion, we are having starting from the highest high all the way up here back in 2019, a beautiful ABC zigzag. Here is 5 down into A, correction up into wave B, and yet another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave impulsive structure down into our ceiling. And that, my friends, means probably some sort of a low is in here. Is this enough for us to be optimistic? In my opinion, no. You see, if you want to say that we are going to have our final low around here, maybe this is like a very important support. Okay, fair enough. Off of the lowest low, then you need to be able to find a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave up. And this specific example is an impulse. Rules for it are, we should not have overlapping of the waves between wave 2 and 4, and in any kind of 5 wave, wave 3 should not be the smallest wave. This is a very important point. Now, let's zoom in more in here and see what is happening starting from the lowest low. I believe we are having a beautiful looking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave up, as you can see with all the subwaves. I said this before and I'm going to say it again. 5 waves on the upside do not get, in my opinion, any more clear than this. Followed by that, I believe this is a correction down, a WXY potentially in form of a double zigzag. And what is happening starting from this point? We talked about this subject, I believe, a couple of months ago. I'm thinking this is most probably a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave up, and the current move down, there's a very high chance that it's actually a correction structure, and who knows, it might be over already. So I'm gonna say, in algo, we may have, in terms of Elliott waves, an extremely bullish pattern, a series of 1-2s. This can be 5 wave up into a wave 1, correction for wave 2, and then big move up into wave 3, 4, 5, which on a higher degree might be into a wave 3, and then correction for 4, another move up into wave 5. Now, pay attention. One very important characteristic of a wave 3 is being quite a strong and sharp move on the upside. And in Algorand, it seems like if this scenario is happening, soon we're going to be on our way up to complete a series of wave 3s. So I think we can all agree it makes perfect sense to expect some strong moves up in the midterm for algo. And again, this means in this cycle, if we are going to have an alt season, which I am kind of convinced that we are going to have, Algorand is going to be a huge winner, and these prices can be considered as kind of cheap. From my point of view, I'm not really interested in buying in here because I bought my algos way back down here. And sure, if we go down once more and reach to about these levels, I will buy more. But right now, I don't really think so. The price has risen way too much, starting from the lowest low down here about 9 cents for me. So I'm good with what I have, which is definitely not a small amount. And if this scenario is happening, I think we are going to end up making a good bit of money. And that, my friends, is why I am so optimistic in algo. And I hope I explained everything well and you understood what is going on in Algorand. Anyway, if you found any value in my content, I would really appreciate if you like this video and consider subscribing to my channel and follow me on Twitter. And if you want more, maybe you want a complete analysis for your own specific crypto, or maybe you want to learn some decent TA in order to be able to make good money in the markets, you can become a member and ask me anything you want. And until the next update, I hope you have a wonderful time with your family and loved ones. Goodbye.